Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. In today's video, I will be working here in the living room, and we will be visiting 5 different vignettes, one being on the wall and the others all around the living room. And what I'm trying to achieve today is some extra added warmth inside of this whole living room area. It is quite a large open concept, and I'm just really trying to I guess I'm just a cottage girl at heart. You know, I really like the small, more closed in spaces. So I'm trying to achieve that in this larger space. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? So I'm just going to take you, briefly through the room. We've already decorated this wall over here to the right. We're going to be adding on to the mood wall here and also the television console. We'll be visiting this little corner space here by the window a little bit. It will be getting decorated in a future video though. We will be decorating the mantle, and also behind the sofa here on the sofa table. I cannot go back any further because I have quite a bit of decorating things taking place in the living room. I'm trying to get everything put together so we have a nice just spring all around the home before we have our celebration coming up here soon. I always try really hard to get the house looking right for the family. We will all be getting together for Easter Sunday, and it's just important that, again, I have everything put together for the family and for all of you as well, because I did promise a spring tour, and it is happening. Very soon. As you can see here, we have a large ladder up here in the living room. Sorry if I sound a little bit delayed, in my speech today, but I cut myself really, really, really bad, and I'm not doing all that well, but it's going to get better. But anyways, we had the ladder up, and I decided to place in one of my vintage plates inside of the frame. I thought it worked perfectly with the picture that I have down here on the Samsung TV. Just little touches of blue here and there, and for right now, inside of this frame, I am loving the blue plate. It's a flow blue. And then down below, I want to add a little something down here, change things up, because I am going for more of a French country look here in the living room area. So we have this sound bar up front, the Bose sound bar, which I absolutely love. But the wires, I do not. So I decided just to place this little vintage vessel of mine. I don't even remember. This was probably a Facebook Marketplace find or out thrifting. I don't remember, but I'm going to use it to hide over the wires. What makes it so difficult, right, is something has to lift up a little bit, a riser or something. So I just thought of this piece. It works well because all of these tones here are kind of warm. And I also have these 3 books I will be working with. They have the navy blue color, which goes perfectly. So I placed 3 of the books in the vessel off to the right. And one just fell over naturally on its own to the right, and I really liked that look, so I'm going to keep it that way. I was at Home Goods, not Yes, it was Home Goods, and I found this greenery here. So I just decided to place a couple, of the stems next to the book. I will be adding more inside this piece. I'm just not quite sure what it's going to be yet. It will be in before the tour. But I have these vintage metal little candelabras that I purchased many years ago when I was living in California. And they have the perfect aged French country look that I am looking for here in the living room. It goes perfect here with the mood wall and on the TV console. Down below, I'm pretty sure where I'm going down here, but I'm not quite sure yet. That will be coming up in future videos. But I'm thinking, just some smaller, maybe blue and white vessels or taupe colored ones. I'm still playing with it a little bit. But for today, I will be adding in these baskets down at the bottom just so that you can see something on the shelves. It's all a process. It really is. And I want to make sure that when I make the purchases that I'm just doing right. I'm just not accumulating stuff, but items that are meaningful and really work and where I'm going in my decorating. So I'm loving this whole setup here on the console. And now over here in the corner, I took off a couple of the brass candlesticks. This is going to move. I thought, I have this really gorgeous black piece. I thought I was going to place it here in the corner, but it's just a little too low. So I have the baskets up at top with the vintage frame on the curtain rod. I was getting ready to call it a candle rod. I'm telling you, I'm not doing good over here because I cut myself so bad. But anyhow, so the stand is going to stay there. We will revisit it. I have a fabulous collaboration that is taking place this week, and I'll probably decorate this corner with that collaboration. And again, it will be coming this week, a few videos this week. But now we're going to work with the mantle a little bit. And I'm just really going to add a couple pieces. And it made my heart happy. I don't always have to put layers and layers and layers of items to be happy. And I was so thankful for that today, that I was able to place just a couple items and it really just make my heart happy. Because again, I hurt my finger. I cut it really bad. Really, really bad. It wouldn't stop bleeding for, oh my gosh, well over a half an hour. It was pretty bad. Okay, enough about my cut and my finger. I won't mention it again. I decided to place a couple of these wicker, I know there's a name for them, but I'm just going to call them wicker jugs, vessels. And I thought it would look good up here and add some warmth up on the mantle. I don't even remember where I purchased these from, but I do have, there is a glass base going all the way down to the bottom. So these are perfect for fresh floral. But today I will be using faux. And these are from Pottery Barn. I have shared these recently. And they are their poppies. I will place them in my products link for those of you that are interested. But this yellow color is just everything that makes my heart happy. Love the yellows and the greens. It's warming everything up, making everything just look more refreshing. And look, just look. These are everything. Okay, with the lamps, the yellow, working with the vintage landscape oil painting. That was a Facebook Marketplace find. The old books. I am loving this setting right here. It's probably, well, maybe the best one for me today here that I'm liking. I don't know. I love it all. But I have a pair of these sweet little blue and like a beigey colored bunnies. I do not remember where I purchased these from. I have not decorated with them for some time, so I was happy to unpack them and introduce them once again. But the blue goes perfectly with the yellow and the old books and the landscaping. And it's just the perfect setting for the holidays. And, you know, with all of the family, all of us gathering. And it's always such a wonderful time. Again, I'm trying my best to get everything together over here in the home for the family. And all of you, of course. So again, the yellows and the blues and the old books and the wickers and the lamps, the vintage lamps. I love everything about this vignette. The glow, the warmth, yet it's refreshing and airy. And then down below, I decided to place my vintage planter with some greenery coming out of it. This greenery was purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I used it on my topiary wreaths in my kitchen as well. And then to the left in my antique market basket, I placed in some oak stems from Pottery Barn, just because I wanted to bring a little bit of back home in. I certainly miss my California, and we have the old oaks everywhere, all on the valley floor where I was raised, and up in our foothills. There's an area, Kathy's Valley, going into Yosemite and Mariposa. We just have oaks everywhere. Okay, so I'm pulling everything way back the best I can because I'm very busy in the kitchen. That is the last room. And then we will be able to do a walkthrough and see what I have been able to accomplish in these last 6 months. It's been a very busy 6 months with all of these different moves. But I have this sofa table back here. And what I'm trying to accomplish here is to bring in different layers and warmth. And again, I'm just a cottagey type of girl at heart. And I have quite a bit of space here. Now here is the tag for the name for my moss pots here, for those of you that are interested. I do have some listed in my Amazon storefront, and I will be sharing that today as well for those of you that might be interested in taking a look-see and maybe bringing some into your home. But again, I did not want this large living area and then the kitchen, it's sort of like that open concept. I wanted to have a break in it a little bit and just bring in just some warmth and coziness, but yet it still be very refreshing. And I think that I am pleased with how it is going so far. Okay, so many of you remember these. I did use them during Christmas over at the fireplace. And I decided to place them on top of the sofa table here. I'm making a very bold move. It's going to be a very loud statement, but I'm asking you all to trust the process. Because again, we're not able to see both the rooms together because I have so much going on in the kitchen. But when it all pulls together by the end of this week, it's just, I love it. I love everything about it. Okay, I have these large branches, not stems, branches, birchwood branches from Pottery Barn. I will share these in my product link for those of you that might be interested in decorating with some of these very large branches in your home. And I decided to place them up on the sofa table. It just, so much warmth. I am loving this because again, I'm going for this French country cottage feel, even though I'm in a larger home. So I'm bringing in more of the green faux stems and branches, and it's wonderful working with real as well, but I'm playing it safe here because we can waste a lot of money when we are working with real plants and they just don't survive or grow as we need them to. And faux stems and branches last many years if they're taken care of properly. Here's a little bit of the side view here. I decided to add in my tall metal bronze candle holders. These were purchased from Pier 1. I so miss them, but they go perfect with the look that I'm going for again, the French country in this area. Now, I will be having more videos posting this week. I have a fabulous collaboration coming up. I do hope many of you have been inspired from this video, and I hope to see you all again very soon.